10 starts right now.
I was trying to duck and trying to grab the knife at the same time. Then as soon as he went, I was like, please, I have kids.
And tonight, luckily, she's still alive to be with them. Now on Fox 17 News at 10, a mother stabbed multiple times in her own home, recalling the night her life almost came to an end.
Dumpster diving for food. It sounds gross, but a lot of people are doing it to survive. Tonight, we continue our series on West Michigan families struggling with hunger.
And it's dry out there right now, but we have some showers and storms in the forecast for later tonight.
We can say math is this girl's second language. The equations a local student is cracking, and now it's even gotten her a national award. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frank.
And I'm Janice Allen. The news at 10 starts now.
Breaking now from Fox 17 News.
We start with breaking news in Hollywood tonight, where the iconic Sunset Boulevard is shut down, all because of a man who's climbed a tower there. Take a look. This is happening on the KTLA News Tower. Multiple crews on the scene there. Officials are trying to talk him down, but right now still no word on why he went up there in the first place. We'll continue to follow the story and bring you new developments as they come in.
Tough night at our sister station out in Los Angeles. Mitch joins us now with a little history at the Tigers game tonight.
Yeah, not for them, but for a guy that we know very well around these parts, Max Scherzer, Cy Young winner with the Tigers 2013, such a huge part of their success in this decade. And then took a deal in Washington and dismantled his former team tonight. Gave up a pair of solo homers, but then with one out in the ninth, sitting at 19 strikeouts, so it's one away from tying the big league record for a 9-inning game. Justin Upton, for the 53rd time this season, goes down. That is 20 for Max, the fourth player ever to sit down 20 in a game. Nationals win that one 3-2. We will have more on his historic night against his old team coming up later in the hour. 119 pitches. No pitcher that's got to 20 has ever done it with fewer pitches. Aside from the 2 home runs, because he's getting 11 home runs this season in 8 starts. That's the one glaring problem with this, but he dominated him. Absolutely. I think Victor Martinez was the only guy in the lineup not to strike out, and Tigers fans who are sitting there shaking their fists at the O's right now. Since he signed with Washington, 2 no-hitters last season and a 20 strikeout game this season.
There you go.
I don't think you can put a price on that.
But I mean, it was him or Miggy, right? That's what everybody's saying.
Apparently, but again, look what he just did.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. All right.
Find the money.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I started doing it because I was really poor. I was hungry and I had heard about it, and so I went with some friends and I just tried it.
All right, growing up, we all heard our parents say, you know, finish all the food on your plate because there are kids that have to go without. It's a fact, sad but true. And tonight we continue our series on the struggle with hunger. A look at just how much food is actually wasted on a regular basis.
Yeah, you might be surprised by this one for sure. Tonight, Fox 17's Dana Chiklis goes dumpster diving and introduces us to people who've been doing it for years.
Well, your first reaction may be, whoa, this is kind of gross. It really tells a story about how much food we waste. 40% of all food in America is thrown out, never eaten, all while 49 million people struggle with hunger. Tonight, we take the lid off this major problem and dive right in.
So there's a whole case of them that's been thrown out. Lord knows why.
Bag after bag of clementines pulled from this dumpster, a few smashed, the rest webbed in packaging perfectly fine. Food waste. From sun-ripened fruit, packaged, driven to our fridge, this is what happens to 20% of the food we buy. 40% of all food in America wasted. And yet 1 in 6 Americans struggle with hunger.
So we want to show you what food waste looks like. So we're behind a grocery store in town, and I want to point out before we go check out what's in the dumpster, you can see there's no fences around, there's no signs that say no trespassing, stay off. So when you get to a dumpster like this, there's no expectation of privacy. So we're with Sunny and Stacy, going to kind of show us how this is done.
So we just tap in, and then you don't want to dig too deep because it's food, and if it's been sitting out all day and it's been buried, that's no good.
Rifling through boxes, in minutes they've dug out those clementines. Asparagus, onions, a new scale in its box, and packaged fruit. Which brings us back to the question.
I don't know why they threw all these out.
There's just a few that are smashed in.
A seasoned dumpster diver.
I think it's very disheartening to see how much is being wasted.
Sunny Dixon says in 7 years of dives, she hasn't had a problem from eating the thrown out food.
The stuff like these are fine.
As Sunny digs here, she lets us in on some of the unwritten rules of diving.
You always want to leave the dumpster as you found it. You know, be respectful of the space that you're in, be respectful of the other people who are around you, who are also diving and probably need the things that they're diving for. There are a lot of really poor, like I was super poor in college and like actually legitimately needed the things that I was finding.
So we asked strangers to step back and think about what they've tossed and then write it down. One group stopping, many walking past. In a few hours, this is what we got. 9 responses: chicken, grains, water, salad, pizza. Perfectly good food thrown out, like Sunny and Stacy's haul.
One of the things that runs through my mind now when I go to the store is, I wonder if I could find this in the dumpster if I came here later tonight.
Sunny and Stacy took us on multiple dumpster dives this night, and you may have noticed several appliances they dug out too, things like an alarm clock and coffee makers. So we've got additional video of that dive at fox17online.com. Tomorrow night, you're going to want to stick with us. We'll show you a solution to this problem, how several food pantries and companies in our area donate food that would have otherwise ended up in those dumpsters. In the studio, I'm Dana Chiklis, Fox 17 News.
Definitely eye-opening. Dana, thank you. Here's another way that you can donate right through your mail. This week you should have received a paper bag in your mailbox. All you have to do is fill it up with non-perishable food items and leave it out for your mail carrier to pick up this Saturday. It's all for Stamp Out Hunger. Last year they ended up getting more than 62,000 pounds of food. We've got all the information for you at fox17online.com. School officials in Kalamazoo County giving parents a heads up about a student with bacterial meningitis. We're told it's a kid from Portage Northern High School and that they've gotten treatment and currently aren't attending classes. Portage Northern says it's taking precautionary measures, cleaning up anything that student may have come in contact with.
State health officials also warning parents to vaccinate their kids after an increase in chickenpox across the state. Between January and April, they've seen 239 cases. That's up by 57% from last year. Chickenpox, highly contagious. It can lead to having to be hospitalized.
A picture-perfect spring day turning into a mild and quiet night in West Michigan, but you could say there's still some change in the air.
Send it over to Joe Kopechek in the Weather Center for more on this weekend cool down that we're headed for.
Yeah, we've got a big weekend chill coming in, Christian, that's for sure. We're talking about high temperatures on Saturday and Sunday in the 40s. We should be about 70, so get set for some major changes. Right now, though, take a look at the satellite and radar, and we've had the clouds roll in after some sunshine this afternoon. Turned out to be a nice afternoon after the cloud cover early. We've been up and down. As you can see, there's no rain in our immediate future, but as you look off to the west, we've got a couple of areas that we're keeping an eye on right now. One is moving through parts of Illinois. Now, that is going to track off to our south and east. We don't have to worry about that one, but the one in the northern portion of Illinois, that's the one we're watching. You can see the lightning and thunder there. You can see the lightning strikes. If it holds together, and that's a big if, it's tracking off to the northeast, it would make the lakeshore about 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it'll make it there in terms of showers. I'm not quite sure those thunderstorms are going to hold together, but that would be the earliest, would be the lakeshore at about 3 o'clock, and then we're looking at about 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning if it holds together, making it into the Grand Rapids area, but nothing expected in the way of severe weather. Here's Fifth Third Ballpark. You can see the clouds early, beautiful sunshine in the afternoon. And then we went back into the cloud cover as that next system coming in. But all in all, not a bad day. Certainly better than it was yesterday when we saw those temperatures stuck in the 50s. Right now, we're in the upper 50s to low 60s. Still 63 at Grand Rapids, 64 at Fremont, 64 at Kalamazoo. Tomorrow, we're going to call for scattered showers and storms. I think it'll be mainly from mid-morning through early afternoon, a high of 68. For Friday, During the day, it's going to be dry, 62 degrees. More rain comes in Friday night with a strong cold front. That is the high temperature on Saturday, 48 degrees, and we're still talking about the possibility of some snow over the northern part of the state this weekend. I'll talk more about that and have your 7-day forecast coming up in just a couple minutes.
On the 5th of May, we made an assault upon Victoria Enos with the intent to do great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. This is a felony carries up to 10 years in prison, fines of up to $5,000.
Nearly a week after a mom was repeatedly stabbed in her own home, the 19-year-old accused of doing it was charged in court today. Brandon Luvano now charged with 4 felonies, and tonight we're learning that he was no stranger to that victim.
Fox 17's Rebecca Russell's in the newsroom after speaking to that mother about her recovery and what she remembers from a scary, scary night. Rebecca?
Yeah, Victoria Enos is just thankful to be alive, she says. She's been through a lot, stabbed over and over again in her own home, fighting for her life while her children are asleep. And despite remembering nearly every horrific detail from that night, she's still able to smile.
So everything's gonna be okay. The future's gonna be good.
A future put into question last week. Around 12:30 Thursday morning, Enos says she went to get a glass of water from her kitchen when she was attacked.
I flicked on the kitchen light and the kid turned his back toward me. So all I could see was his brown hair and his light colored gray shirt and dark pants. And then the next thing I knew, he did some kind of crazy thing with his hands. Like, I froze. I'm thinking, somebody's on drugs in my kitchen. And then he just attacked me. I didn't know he was stabbing me at first, but once I figured out that he was stabbing me, I tried to get the knife away from him. It was really strong and it was a struggle.
That man, 19-year-old Brandon Luvano. Enos says she recognized him as a friend of her daughter's. The daughter told Luvano earlier not to come over, but he wouldn't take no for an answer.
She wasn't gonna let him in the house, so he just, so I think he just came in through the back sliding door. It was unlocked. Just disregarded what my daughter told him. Just did whatever he wanted instead.
Luvano grabbing a butcher knife from a knife block in the kitchen and stabbing Enos in the torso, cutting an artery in her arm and knocking out a front tooth.
I'm thinking I have to be there for my kids. You know, they need me. They're just teenagers. I want to have grandkids someday. Of course, I pleaded to because I have kids. You know, I didn't know if that would appeal to this kid or not, but that's all I could think.
Now she's focusing on getting better, staying at a friend's home near Detroit, looking forward to spending time with her family and justice being served.
It might take a while to heal, but I know I can do it. I have a faith that everything's gonna be good.
And Enos's mother-in-law and 3 kids all asleep in that home at the time when she was attacked, but nobody else was hurt, luckily. Live in the newsroom, Rebecca Russell, Fox 17 News.
Rebecca, thanks. Meanwhile, the man accused of killing a mother just days after she gave birth to her daughter will stand trial for her murder. Today, a judge in Muskegon County ruled there's enough evidence against Ronald Williams to send his case forward. During his hearing today, more details came out about his alleged role in the murder of Bobby Maples, including that they both did heroin together, and that afterwards Bobby was found in the bathroom blue in the face. Williams admitted to burying her after that, but says he didn't put the bag over her head or the tape on her face, both of which were found on her body when her remains were found earlier this year. We'll have much more on today's hearing coming up at 11.
Well, lots of calls into the newsroom tonight about this story. A heavy police presence being reported at Millennium Park in Grand Rapids tonight. Lots of people contacting our desk asking what was going on. Investigators were on the scene for hours. We called them and they told us they were looking for a suspect and finally located that suspect this evening. No other details released about this just yet, but we'll keep checking. Memorial services have been set for a firefighter, a Grand Rapids firefighter who died after his boat caught fire and sank this weekend. This Sunday, there's going to be a funeral held for David Nisley at the Ryers North Valley Chapel. The Grand Rapids Fire Department will be on hand honoring him. A reception will follow. Nisley died on Sunday following that fire at the marina in Spring Lake. He'd been with the fire department for 19 years. The cause of the fire still under investigation.
Still ahead at 10, a 13-year-old girl solving math problems that people twice her age can't. Yeah, stick around for this one. We'll introduce you to a local whiz kid who's now earned a national title.
I just wanted a chance to show them that that I'm not a danger to society, like they say I am.
An admitted killer talking to Fox 17 from behind bars. What he has to say about the murder charges against him.
And later, a news anchor becoming a story thanks to his post online. We'll tell you how he's taking his family's struggle with infertility public.
And we're continuing to follow that breaking news out of Hollywood, where a man has climbed up the tower of KTLA, our sister station, forcing the Sunset Boulevard closed down. Crews are on the scene trying to talk him down. We'll stay on this and give you updates here and on Fox17online.com. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 17 News.